All right. Good morning. We're here.
Uh-oh.
Back. We,
I'll get back to you.
That's happened before. You have to shut off that thing.
Can't hit
we are experiencing technical difficulties.
Hey, all right. I turned off the laptop sound.
No. Well,
I think that did it.
that's where you get the
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You're just basically listening to the show.
All right.
You got to turn them.
Mics are up.
Okay.
Mics are up.
You're up.
Cool.
All right. Good morning, everybody. We're here for the show today. Mike is playing grandson and enjoying a nice, beautiful day out there.
Oh, it's nice.
It
I
is.
mean, a beautiful day today. Nice little crisp morning to wake up to.
Windows and doors are open.
Didn't need your AC units on.
You're off.
And try to minimize the impact on that big electric bill. Talking about electric bills, saw a little information out there that Lamont is replacing the chair on Pura with a lobbyist for the electric utilities.
Political move.
Yeah.
Well, you really can't tick them off because they need the utilities. No matter whether you like them or not, no matter what they charge, you still need them on your side. And if they won't spend any money on the infrastructure, eventually
It'll fail.
it'll fall.
They've been spending a lot of money on infrastructure. They've been getting a lot of money for the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Every time.
So maybe recently they've been fixing it, but I know for many, many years they've been complaining about it way back in the 90s.
So they've been hardening it for a long time.
Yeah.
Finding different ways to,
So
especially in this area, because the trees, they try to harden it. I mean, I go to put a fiberglass cross up, so
Yeah, right. Composite ones. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody using them.
it'll break.
Right. And you know, rot.
Right.
all right. So what else is going on in the world?
Olympics starts today.
Olympics starts today in Paris.
But apparently there's something going on in Paris where apparently arson or something with the trains they use to commute to all the train stations are full of people because they can't use the train.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's some kind of an attack.
Where does it end?
I don't know.
Yeah. So TV showing everybody in the train station just packed. Everybody's walking around with their phone. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. So they got a problem with transit right now, huh?
Yeah. Because I guess it's just a train ride from England over to France, right?
Mm.
It's not, so, but,
Train ride?
yeah, train ride. Yeah.
Oh,
way.
there she is.
No way.
That's 9:05. Did I call it?
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Traffic was hey, we put your crown on your chair and your throne there.
Your glasses all good to go.
Appreciate that.
So you brought your notes
Yeah.
from last night's meeting. We're talking about the Olympics right now.
Oh yeah.
They're talking about there's some, that happened in Paris. You know anything about Paris?
I don't know anything about Paris.
Kathy was supposed to go to Paris, but she couldn't. Her priorities were correct. She had to stay
Yeah.
for son's graduation. So there you go.
Yeah. I heard it was a really crappy trip. People
Yes.
were not happy about it, so I didn't miss anything. So that made me feel better.
Yep. All right. Okay, no problem.
So Olympics, I don't know anything about them. Haven't been following them at all.
Paul says the train they've been
They got a transit issue. I
or
guess.
something or
There's arson
thing.
attack
Already?
on the train.
Yeah, how to disrupt the Olympics? Get their name in the paper or whatever they want to do. So it's like,
They've been attacked by something.
oh, it's like yesterday before we walked into the meeting. Ryan Alvin was telling us there was a bunch of kids at the playground that looked like they were destroying the playground. So my wife had to go to school this morning with the 2-year-old, and I asked her, so you can take her to the playground while you're there and look at the other one, see if what it looks like. She said it looks okay. So apparently they didn't do too much damage, but I don't know if the cops got there in time or what.
I think the cops, from what I understood, the cops got there, but then had to leave for the motorcycle accident in Volanton.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if they were
So-
able to do anything about the playground, because obviously that call took priority. But
Yeah. So I just,
The guy was he from Jewish City? Yeah, I heard it on the news this morning real quick, heading out the door.
yeah, it was a
55.
fatal. It was a fatal accident.
Was it?
Unfortunately,
Yeah, 55-year-old.
sad.
Been a lot of motorcycle
Yeah.
accidents.
got a lot of, I've seen a few that are driving nuts, like nuts.
Stand outside town hall at night and watch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see him go up and down. Yeah.
It's like a racetrack up through here.
Now, you being a rider, does that make you nervous when you see all these accidents?
No, you got to have your eyes open.
Yeah. He was driving a Suzuki. What does that tell you?
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Clutch rocket.
Mm. I was wondering if that's what it was. I don't know the different kinds of bikes.
It's just-
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't drive like that. You gotta have your eyes moving all the time. You
Well,
really gotta watch.
And from what it sounded like, he hit dirt or something.
No.
Like
Going
so-
like hell.
I don't know.
Slid through the dirt.
Say he was coming down and went around the curve.
Yeah, around the corner and hit dirt.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
A rock will do it.
Yep. That,
Yeah. It's like a missile.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. See the windshield get cracked, you get a rock thrown into it or a
Mhm.
stone. You know, wonder what it feels like if you're going 80 mile an hour on a motorcycle.
Ugh.
Oh yeah. You only got probably that much tire on the road. It's not
Right.
a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
you only have two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mike's telling me, oh yeah, I forgot to change the title.
Yeah.
It's too late now. This is not Psychic Thursday.
I
Yeah.
saw it pop up on my
Part
phone.
two,
I don't think I can change it.
Psychics Thursday,
Yeah.
the next
Okay.
day.
So I wouldn't worry about it.
Thanks, Mike. We're all enjoying our Dean's coffee right now.
Oh, yeah, this is
Oh.
teens, right?
Yeah, well, it's got a D.
Oh boy.
Just like the water's got a D too.
Oh, there you go. I do have my TNT tumbler.
Oh,
All right, let's see if I can. I don't know
You're
if
gonna
I can
try to
change
fix it now?
it. Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't bother.
Yeah. It's Friday. Whatever.
Who cares?
Whatever.
Who cares?
Right?
Who cares?
yeah,
Do we have anyone even watching?
a couple.
Depends on what page you go to.
Yeah.
There, I changed it.
Oh, okay.
Coffee chat. There you go.
There you
Laura Knupp is on.
Yeah, she said, good morning, all. So they all start rolling in here about 10 after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see?
It's not the same thing as Kathy.
Right on time.
Yeah, it doesn't, you know.
Got to get here early.
Yeah, so hey, thanks, Mike, for the coaching. And, you know, I think it's correct now. Just a short little coffee chat. And we're going to talk about stuff. We're going to talk about national stuff, town stuff. We had a big town meeting yesterday, or actually presentation with Heritage River Senior Center. So Kathy, the queen of spreadsheets, brought her notes and everything. I got my notes. So if you have any questions, and we'll talk a little bit about it. And then we started off with the Pura changes by Lamont, which I don't know if that's going to be really
That's for you.
to our benefit. But yeah,
You have Jewish City, right? So it doesn't affect you.
no.
I'm saying, come to the borough. Move to the borough.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good electric, not so much for the sewer, but that's okay.
Hey, my toilet's still flush. It's fine. It's fine.
Straight to the river.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to get grants, funding for that, fix all that, so that's good.
It's being worked
You know,
out.
it's still working. It's not an imminent failure, so there you go.
No, it's all good. For now.
All right, so you want to get into the Heritage River presentation? I know everybody's biting at the bit to
Oh,
do this.
yes.
So we had a presentation last night, 6 o'clock. Not as many people as last time
No.
showed up.
I think people forgot. Put it out a while ago. It's been out there for so long, and I didn't see any. Yeah, this one forgot again.
I texted them.
I know.
Yeah, one was in my pocket too.
Yeah.
Imagine that, right?
But I think it's been out there for so long, and I didn't.
But I got there
and
like half
myself,
the time. It was
he
like
did.
10 after.
He did. It was all right. It was fashionable.
Yeah.
But I think people may have forgotten about it. I didn't see, and myself included, I forgot to share it again to kind of remind people within the last few days or a week or so. And I didn't see
We've
it
been
out
putting
there.
that on the show. We got thousands of people that watch this show. Right,
Sure.
Mike? There, watch Mike drink out of his Dean's cup. The one cup.
Mhm.
That's okay.
Thanks,
But-
Mike. Thanks, Mike.
But there'll be more. They did say that they're going to keep coming and presenting as the project progresses. So essentially, the project's happening at this point.
Yep.
For now, yeah.
For now, it's moving forward. They have the approvals needed. The funding is still the question.
Mhm.
They weren't going to go after the funding till when?
January.
Well, they're waiting for the SIF grant, and they said they should know end of August, beginning of September, if they get the SIF grant.
Yep.
That will determine the financing they need moving forward. So if they get the SIF grant, obviously they don't need as much financing or funding, and if they don't, then So they did say that they would be going for financing in January.
But I thought the financing that they're going after in January was to actually start construction. The SIF grant was going to cover the infrastructure in the ground on the property. To
So
which that SIF grant sounded to me like that was going to pay for all of that. They didn't end up having to put any money out of pocket for that. That if they got that, then they could go forward with financing to start building.
So I think, and obviously, I mean, somebody in town hall would have to correct me, but I think there's two SIF grants. So we went for
Right.
one a couple of years ago, and it got denied, and then they went again. This was in the previous administration, and they
Correct.
submitted again, and I believe they got that one. This that they're
Second
waiting,
time, right? Because Noah's
Right.
got it the first time.
Yeah. and this one I think is another one.
Yep.
So the first one, my understanding, is for the infrastructure. I could be wrong, but I thought that one was for their infrastructure, not 64 infrastructure.
Right.
We already got that for the
Right.
164
It's
got
all squared away.
USDA,
Yeah.
Deep, and all whoever else. Right?
So
Yeah.
the SIP grant that they already got, it was my understanding that was for their infrastructure. This new SIP grant, to me, sounded like it would be for more of the construction, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I didn't quite
It's
understand
it's
that.
for their property infrastructure.
Right.
I thought that's what they already have.
No.
Then
No,
what was the first SIP
the first grant that we got is for our water or sewer
Sewer.
project to run down.
That was
I
all
thought that was
part of
USDA.
That was the sewer. The
One
USDA is
USDA, the other one's not.
That's
USDA is the water, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. That's what I
the
wasn't
$9
sure
million
about.
they got.
8.7 million.
8.7 million. Yeah.
One's
Yeah,
USDA.
which-
That was the one that was
Which-
approved and given to us by the end of the last administration.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Which kind of threw me off kilter because they said they got the grant. If you remember them saying they got the grant. For
Yeah.
They wrote the grant.
They wrote it.
They wrote
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but I
wrote-
think they assisted in helping the grant.
Yeah.
A lot of because I think what the grant needed was what they were going to do down in the village.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
and
think
I think that
Well, I
helped get the
Project
grant.
I
plans.
don't think they can actually go after grants because they're for profit.
Right. That's what kind of threw me off because I thought it was our people that were doing it at the town.
so. I
hall.
think we submitted it.
We submitted.
The town that
with-
went for it, but I
Yeah.
think if I
They had a lot to do with it, which
We-
I was not aware
We
of.
submitted it, and Heather Summers pushed it and
That's
got it
what-
authorized.
Okay,
through
so
the-
that
the
8.7 was
government,
for infrastructure on 164.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so they still don't have they don't have their own infrastructure
Okay, so
yet.
that's what this new SIP grant
That's
would
what-
be.
Yes,
Okay.
when they do it, they're going to do both sections, phase 1 and phase 2. I understand.
Well, that's changed so much.
Yeah, there's no phase.
They just
one.
talked about one phase last
They're going
night.
to do all of the infrastructure. I thought for the entire property.
Correct.
Yes.
That's
Correct.
That's
Yep.
yeah.
And it looked to me,
building that back section.
from the plans that I got from the town planner back in September timeframe, was it has dwindled a little bit. It's not as big as it was, right? I think it has a lot to do with funding and the cost of everything nowadays is
And
going up.
by the time they go for it, it could even
gonna
go
be
It's going to
smaller.
be higher.
It could even change it to be smaller because it's just the fact that they got to get money.
Mm-hmm.
And everything keeps going up. Try buying stuff.
Well, they can always add to it, in the future.
Well, and,
So-
we asked that question last night at the end was, you have all this acreage. I think they said just under 61 acres or just under 62 acres, something like that. And I don't know the total footprint of the project, but there's acreage left
Oh
to
yeah.
continue building. And we asked, okay, what about like the next phases? Have any future plans for construction? And they said no.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, they may not have any definitive plans now, but that doesn't mean they're not
But
going
if
to.
they want to change too, they also have to go back to the town and get it approved.
Yeah,
We're talking about maybe removing that one building from the affordable housing startup and putting in 18 single family homes.
Yeah,
You're not going to be right on top of each other.
yeah,
Oh my
that's what
God.
I was thinking when he said
Yeah.
removing one building
One
and putting
building,
it in 18 homes. I
What are
was
they
like,
going to be, like 500 square
they're
foot
like
homes?
tiny. Yeah, that's
Oh
what
my God.
I was thinking. The same thing. I'm like,
I
how
think
do
he said they were 600 square feet.
Yeah, they can't be big,
600?
but they're going to sell them though.
I think he said 600 square foot homes.
home ownership down here, and it's like, well,
There's
you
no
gotta go,
way. 600?
You got to go to the town.
Listen, this is affordable housing, right?
But
They're not-
600 square feet's like, I mean, that's a room.
it's a
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not 600. You can't live in.
you can't have
600.
3 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and one bathroom, and 600 square
40
feet.
square feet right here.
Right.
You ever hear of tiny houses?
I
Yeah.
have, but usually for single people, not for families.
For a family, right?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the project's going to move forward. There were some questions about impacts on the town, on EMS. We were told that they looked at that. I kind of like it's not going to be a big issue. And then the Board of Ed chair happened to be there and asked questions about the impact from children to the school.
I think they understated those numbers.
And they said 0.52 per unit.
It's
They-
0.52 per bedroom.
Per bed.
So they estimated
70 something.
50. No, it was more. Hold on.
54 kids.
Was that
Yeah,
what
it
it
wasn't
was?
much.
54?
I got numbers at home from the last meeting that no, wrong.
Yeah, it was like 50 something kids that they're estimating would be added. But I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be more than
It's
that
I'm
personally.
telling you.
Because
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
original numbers was double that.
and I'm thinking affordable housing. So I mean, I kind of grew up in that type of environment, and I mean, we were packed in the bedrooms. There was 3
Yeah.
of us. We were packed in. There was 3 of us sharing one bedroom at one point growing up. So I mean, I know that happened. I mean, they're going to try to pack kids in. You know, if you have multiple
Yeah, you can probably put
kids.
120 on a bunk bed in there.
That's what we had. We had 2 bunk beds,
Yeah.
so we could have sleepovers with friends. So they could come over. We had room for them to sleep. But yeah, I mean, we had 2 sets of bunk beds in a bedroom, and it was totally normal. I mean, that wasn't.
I think back in the beginning of all this, the numbers, I think the 0.52 was correct, and I told the chairman for the board of it I would look into that because I do have it at home based on bedrooms that would be in them 4 buildings. I think the number came out closer to the potential of like 120 kids. It was a lot. And it equated to like 4 or 5 extra classrooms worth of kids, never mind the teachers and everything else that you're going to need. It's a number.
Yeah, but
So
Yeah, they said 52 kids, but I'm thinking even single bedroom, even 1 bedroom apartments, kids could be in there too. You know, I mean,
But there's 160 apartments there.
yeah. Well, that's
So how does that number even? That's not even close.
right. Because I think
Even as a 1 bedroom, that's 160 bedrooms. That's over 80 kids.
right. Yeah,
That number's not even close.
yeah. And
And
some
there's
of
2 and 3 bedroom units.
I was just going to say some of the units are 2 and 3 bedrooms, so there's going to be. It's not just 1 kid.
I don't think we got a number on how many 2 or 3 bedrooms are going to be.
There might
Did
have been
we?
with
I don't think we
how
did,
they came up with the number the first time out. I got to go look at it. I got to check.
yeah, but you're going to get taxes on this stuff. Is taxes going to pay for 50 kids?
Not if they get an abatement. They're
Well,
looking at the
see,
abatement.
this is
Listen, if you
where
have 10 kids, Paul, you're not going to get taxes on 10 kids. They
I
don't
realize
tax the people, they tax the property.
Right.
this is where the tax abatement has got to be very careful.
Oh, yeah.
We have run down Route 64 with the sewer line. There's a lot of properties
Yeah.
coming up this way that are now vacant. If you give that group a tax
Mhm.
abatement,
Yep.
now you've got other businesses coming along. So where's mine?
You did it for them. What about us?
Mhm.
So they have to be extremely careful when they make a decision on a tax abatement.
So the
Yeah.
tax abatement has to go through Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance, and
Yes.
town meeting.
Yes.
Correct.
So I read through that process. I actually had a little texting back and forth with Scott because when I first read through it, I didn't see it, but I missed the next section, which was the application process. So the application process has them go through the town planner, then to the Economic Development Commission, and then it goes to the Board of Finance,
Yeah.
and then it goes to the Board of Selectmen, and then you have to have a town meeting.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to it. That
There's a
you
lot
have to
to
get a
it.
lot of buy-in.
Yeah, so, but,
And from what Eric said, because I had about the abatement, I don't know anything on how that works. So afterwards, I went up and asked Eric, like, what that looks like, and he said typically after if it goes through all of that and gets approved, it's typically they essentially only have to pay 10% of the taxes the first year, then they pay 20% the next year,
Yeah.
30%, and it increases
10 years.
10%
Every year.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep.
So we would be getting only 10% of the total taxes that we would be getting 10 years later for that first year.
and multiply that times 3 or 4 properties coming up this way.
Right. Yep.
Wow.
That's a lot of loss to
And
tax.
granted, it's 10% we weren't getting before, but
It is, but
you know,
is it enough to? I mean, at that
to
point,
justify it.
right.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering. I don't know.
So in 10 years, we'll be golden.
I don't really care.
We'll be in the memory care facility.
Yeah,
at that
probably.
point.
What?
What? Huh? Yeah, sitting next to Biden. There you go.
Riding with Biden.
That was funny. They were talking about all the different housing, and he's like, "Oh, this is perfect timing."
Yeah.
Where are you going to put your 10 cats? And
Poor Paul.
And that's her problem.
Poor Paul. Everybody's picking. Even Mike's not even here. We're picking on Paul.
He's the one that started last night with the comment. That was
Yeah.
funny. That was great. But yeah, I mean, I have to say though, the Heritage River folks were definitely well more prepared. I think
Yes.
last night the presentation was more succinct, and they were definitely clear in what the message they were trying to get through. There was more information, more focused information. Last time they seemed to kind of just be winging it.
The attitude they had last night was a lot more professional
Yes,
than the first
I
meeting.
agree.
The first meeting, the attitude was like, "This is what we're giving you. This is how you're going to take it."
Yeah.
This one was, "This is what we plan to do. We can do this. We can do that." Da, 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 da. There were still some communications that were, still had some open holes in it. Especially the conversation with the Board of Ed chair. There were some conversations about that. But so anyway,
But here, it's their property.
right,
They can do what the hell they want.
right.
We are very fortunate that they're coming forth and telling us what they're going to do. The rest of the people that are going to build along 164, are they going to do the same and come to the town and say, this is what we're going to do? Yeah, they're going to submit a plan, but they don't necessarily have to bring the people together. They want to put a manure shop in there. They can do what the hell they want.
No, that's up to the leadership of the town to inform.
You build your shit plant. That's
Right.
fine.
Right.
That's what I mean. So we're very
Say
fortunate
that.
that they're at least telling us what's going on.
Yeah.
But
So,
there's always that thought in the back of your head.
but y'all also have to understand is that process is part of the SIF grant that they applied for.
Right. So the SIPR, they
You
have
know?
to have community support, which I
Right.
think is part of why they're doing this
Yeah.
information
Probably
session.
so.
And SIF, from what I understood, the last meeting, SIF was on the line, or they
Yeah.
have, they get feedback from the community.
Correct.
That's part of it. It's a community investment fund, I think is what CIS stands for. Right? So the community has to be involved in it. So I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it went well last night. There were still some really good questions. Some of them were kind of, they were political answers, but kind of dodged around it. But it was better. It was definitely better than the last
The
time.
YMCA presentation was a lot better. Also, it's still the pool is the last piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, the pool is still undecided. They're trying to get other community support for that. They're looking, I guess they've reached out to local high schools and surrounding towns. Yeah, in surrounding towns to see if there's interest, which I would imagine there would be. And so, yeah, I mean, the pool's still questionable at this point. They did mention a few times that it's the most expensive to install and maintain and all of that.
Yep.
So they need to be sure that it's going to be supported. I don't know, the YMCA, I'm still personally, I'm on the fence with that one. I'm not sure. I think, we certainly need the child care. If the pool was a definite, I think that would be one thing. But given that it's so kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah, it's not cheap to be a member there either.
Well, and that's where I was going with it. Yeah, I mean, for a family, actually, I took a screenshot of that because I was just like, how people are going to afford this. So a single, and these were summer special rates, and this is based on the Mystic YMCA. An adult's $100 a month,
Mm.
and that's the summer special rate. So I don't know what the regular rate is.
Do they have a pool there?
I believe they do have a pool there.
So I'm
It may
thinking
be a little different. I don't know.
it may be less because if you have a pool, maintain it, you're probably going to charge more to use the pool.
Yeah.
If you're not going to use the pool, they should have a separate set of rates. If you're not going to use the pool and you're just going to use the gym,
They'd have to somehow police
Right.
that. Though. How do they know you're not going in and using the pool?
you know,
That would be
they
one
can give you a
thing.
membership card
Your
with
membership card doesn't allow the door to open.
Yeah.
something like
At
that.
least
Key
people
card,
open the
something like
door.
that.
It's like a hotel. You open
No.
the door for
So
anybody. But
there's ways to police it.
there could be, and that's what I'm saying. These are the Mystic YMCA rates. But one adult family,
With the 10 full-time employees, right?
yeah, they had 10. Mystic had 10 full-time employees and 150 part-time employees, and those part-time employees were like high school kids
That's a lot of
and
part-time
things.
employees.
That's a lot. I worked at the one in Norwich when I was a teenager, and it was a good little
I went
admin
there.
job. Yeah, I was a member of YMCA in Norwich forever. It was great. Certainly,
I
obviously,
remember
the cost.
Heidi Wolfman. She was like one of the big players in the front desk down there.
I just remember that YMCA housed people.
Yeah.
It had apartments
Yep.
upstairs. Yeah. And it was kind of scary because
It was.
as a girl, I was like 16, 17 going there, 15, somewhere in that
Well,
range.
that's right across
And-
from your post office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way to get up to the weight room, you'd have to walk up like this
Mm.
set of stairs, like in the back of the building to get up to the weight room. And when you got to the top of the stairs, you took a left to go into the weight room. And to the right was a door where all the men were housed. And there was just men. And they would stand at the top of the stairs, just like hanging out like, across from the weight room. It was a little creepy.
Bunch of old guys just in a room
It was just
alone,
great. No, they were
like three old guys in a room alone.
it was an odd setup. And,
She
I
could
mean,
probably beat all of our asses. Are you kidding?
at the time, it was just normal. But looking back, it was a kind of
They were weird.
strange. It was
Yeah.
It wasn't
strange.
normal. They
Yeah,
were
no,
weird.
it was strange.
Mhm.
They never bothered anybody, but it was still just
Yeah.
kind of creepy.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that one was interesting. But anyway,
Well,
so
just say the French train system hit with coordinated sabotage, arson attacks hours before Olympics start.
Jesus,
But
doesn't
it's
surprise me.
just because I know. So go ahead.
The
Doesn't
Olympics.
surprise me.
Jesus Christ.
And it starts today. Olympics
Nothing-
starts
Yeah,
today.
Nothing sacred.
The flag opening ceremonies are today, I think, right? Tonight, what time is it?
Yeah,
It's
well, people are
7:30.
getting there, early today, make a big party of it, and then you got a bunch of people that,
Hmm.
are going to ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, and it's
So now you're going to have security
Yeah.
beefed up and everything like that. What other shenanigans are they going to be up to?
Yep.
So
But the whole thing with this development over there too, that there's this questionable thing in the back of my mind, other people's minds too, that what happens come January, they go for financing and they get approved for X amount of dollars, and they start building, and the cost of building's up,
which of course.
and next thing you know, you got a half-built building and they're out of money, and that's the end of it.
So
It can happen.
That's-
Listen, it happened with
yeah.
Norwich Wood Apartments
Yes.
in the business park.
Yes.
It happened up there.
Yep.
But-
And they sat so long, they had to tear them down,
And redo 'em.
chip it all up, and rebuild
But
them because they started the building.
do we care? How's it affect them?
Well, you're losing
Doesn't
taxes,
affect
and now
them.
you. Well,
No,
if they go,
no, we're not losing taxes.
but if you would be if they had completed
Well, they
it.
still got to pay taxes on their property.
Right.
We got the building permits.
We do. Yes, correct.
So now you got an eyesore.
Right.
If
Well,
nobody can
that's-
fix it up, you got an eyesore.
And then what
Somebody will
happens?
buy it.
And now you have.
Now it's like the
Then
ghetto,
you have to wait.
side of town.
Then you'd have to wait for them to go bankrupt
Yep.
and go through that whole process,
Yep.
and it's going to sit there. I mean, that's worst case scenario, but it's still a possibility.
It doesn't really affect us.
Listen, they're
We
being
got the
very vague
infrastructure
about
in.
their
That's all we
finance.
care.
Yeah.
They got 3 phase
Right.
down there for the other people that
Yeah,
are.
after we paid the $2 million to get it there, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, well, listen, it's going to be $1 million.
So the town side of things are moving along, right? So the town is doing their part to get whatever needs to be done to support their project from there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think the first selectman put out, they're looking to be done with the sewer by the end of summer. The USDA for the water is out for bids. And I don't know if she ever said what they expect to do with the water. I don't think the water is probably not going to be done until probably spring.
I don't think they mentioned that. They just said it was out
Yeah,
to
they
bid.
didn't say.
I would probably say spring is probably probably more
I
real
might
because
even
you got
strip-
winter coming and everything. Like, you're not going to be.
You're not going to dig.
You're
I
not
might
going to
even
do
strip the water tower thing straight.
and they have to have the water
There's
tower
that issue.
Yeah.
piece straightened out. So
But you can get it to that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could.
Anyone that has not been down 164 in the last couple of weeks, just expect. I think they're doing a good job as far as traffic flow, but it is down to one lane
mhm.
most of the day.
How far down are they now?
For the one lane, it's like starting like just a little after Petromax and down to like past a little bit past the Stotts property.
Stotts.
Oh, so they're doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Looked like it was pretty clean digging
Yeah.
from what I saw
Yeah.
when they were
me too,
digging.
yeah.
Wasn't terrible.
Mm-mm. No, I mean they seem to be doing a good job, and like I said, the traffic flow is okay, but they're alternating, because it's down to one lane, so just a little extra time if you're having to go down that way, you're coming back from Preston or something. But it's not too bad. I've been going back and forth, and you get through it.
Yes.
But
Okay.
it's nice to see some progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
it's moving along.
Yep.
So
long, slow process.
it was interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how the youth and rec collaborates with the YMCA on this thing.
Well,
So
if they don't build everything they say they're going to build, then what's the rec gaining?
I think
What's it going to get out?
Well, aside from the pool, it's
Nothing. He can
Well-
do what he does now.
well,
but he'll have more space. And
exactly.
I think it's the space and what
access
would be
to
available.
what's what's
I-
available.
Right.
if I remember the first time, I don't think Ryan mentioned it last night, but the whole point of it was there's a gap in the age because I think it was like 12 or 13 at the rec and youth center we have now. It's basically 12, 13. They watch the kids, work with activities with the kids. It's after that age till when they graduate from high school that you have a gap there of activities for them, right?
If
So
you go to that Y building, now the baseball players, the football players, the basketball players, they can go there. There's exercise equipment. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking to play.
well, the high school's got a pretty
How
good
much?
gym.
How much is it going to
So-
cost them?
Yeah, but do they have
Students?
access to that after hours?
You
I
think
believe
they're going
so.
to get a special
Do they? I
rate
don't
because
know.
they're part of the rec?
College student, according to the Mystic, summer rate is $49 a month for a college student. It doesn't mention
That's cheap.
a high school student unless it has to be part of a family, and a one adult family is $124 a month.
So who's going to pay for that?
Right.
The family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's according to the Mystic. Like I said, I don't know
So
what it'll be for us, but
yeah,
that's
you
just
got the thing
an
to go
idea.
to, but
Yeah, you got to pay for it.
you're going to have to pay
The
for it.
weekend, if you got that age group that you're talking about and they can't get into the school and they can go up there and work out,
Yeah, honestly,
that's where you're going to attract them.
but it may be cheaper for them to go to Barbell in the mill.
I don't know what they
That's
have.
$25 a
Yeah.
month, $35 a month, depending on which package you have. And they have a full gym.
Yeah.
So, and not only
Old
that,
school stuff too.
right, and not only that, if you're a resident in Heritage River, they have their own gym. If I understood that correctly last night, they mentioned that they'd have a small gym there, which I thought was strange. I'm like, well, why are they going to have a small gym for
With a
residents
YMCA.
with the YMCA right there?
Well, they're going to
Unless
have
I misunderstood, but that's what it sounded
part of the
like.
presentation was yoga, Pilates, studio
Yeah, but was
rooms and stuff like that.
can't see that going in the. Was it in the senior building?
Why not?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Was it in the senior building? Because that's where there was first floor space, right?
Yeah.
And the apartments were upstairs.
Yeah, they said all the apartments are upstairs. I thought.
Yes,
Yeah. So maybe in the
the
first
commercial. There's two buildings. It's going to be on the bottom, and then residents up
floor,
top.
up top.
And then you got the memory care, you got senior housing, you also got the regular affordable housing.
So just to give everybody an idea, family units, there's 160 units planned.
Yeah.
So, and that's a mix of
Right.
1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. It's 160 total units
So he said, did he say
Four buildings.
0.52 per unit?
per unit for kids.
Well,
That's 80
you're
kids.
judging by bedrooms, not by unit. That's the thing.
Yeah, right.
It's per bedroom.
So adult living, which was like senior living, like 55 and older type of retirement living, 50 units for that.
Mhm.
The memory care, which this is what kind of not worried me, but definitely we have to keep an eye on it. But the memory care was 210
That's a lot.
units. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Did that include the assisted living portion too? I think it did.
Independent assisted supported.
Yeah.
110 units.
So my mother lived in a facility similar to that in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So you got there, it was assisted living, with independent care, and then the next step was, the
Was
memory.
it the place out in Basra there too? I think that's like one of the. It's
182.
got a mix of.
Mhm.
There is memory care. There is just independent living there. There's
Mhm.
assisted living in there.
Yep.
So it's a senior house is similar to like
It's just
us
like,
going
like
there,
retirement.
retirement.
Yeah,
We move
55
in
and
there, we
older
don't have a
type.
lot of health issues,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
We're independent, all
You
that
don't
stuff.
want to mow the lawn. You don't want to do that
Right.
stuff
Yeah.
anymore.
You can still drive. You're still doing your own
Right.
thing.
Assisted living is a little step further that, if something happens, somebody's right there to come to your room and help take care of you. Yeah, but my mother is still driving. She's still
Mhm.
driving to her apartment when she first moved in. But she didn't have to go far for lunch
Right.
or dinner or
Mhm.
breakfast, and she could actually have that delivered to her room if she wanted to.
She
chose
could
to, right?
cook it herself
Right.
if she wanted, right?
I used to laugh a little bit because when I visit her, we'd go down there and there'd be the parade of walkers and scooters going down to the cafeteria. Paul, look what you got to look forward to.
It's
And,
coming.
so,
Yeah. There you go.
and when my mom first got there, she used to get down there,
You can
no
make her
problem. A couple of years later, she was going down there in cane. A couple of years after that, it was the walker. And then the last couple of years, it was the scooter.
Mm.
So it was just a graduated process, and it's just part of life.
Mhm.
Yep.
But that's what that facility is all about.
Mm.
But
And
that's not cheap.
No.
Who's gonna? I mean, a lot of people can afford to go to those places.
So a
it's
lot of
probably-
those
probably
places,
income-based.
a lot of those places are state also.
Whatever
It's
your
the-
social security,
yeah.
any pension, it's all
they're
Yeah.
based on what nursing home
yeah,
is, right?
yeah, the state will usually come in and
What I was
and
really
they pay for it.
surprised too is they said
So
was
once
all those
if you
places
have
that
any
are-
assets,
They
Yes.
can't have any.
if you have any assets,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah,
a certain
most-
limit to assets, and they take those assets
Yep.
and they give you an allowance.
Mhm.
That individual that has the assets, and when those assets are gone, then you have to apply for state aid,
Mhm.
Title 19.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Trust me, that's a process and a half.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
Been through it.
And I'm going to tell you, when my mom was talking about it, when my dad was still alive, they were talking about it. And he was dead set against it. No way am I going to live there. I like being in my own home and I don't want to be bothered by anybody. Blah, blah. My mom, however, within 2 years after he passed away, she looked at that. She looked at that place with him. She loved that place. It's where she wanted to go. I was trying to tell her, I said,
Go.
when I looked at the cost, I'm like, why don't you just have somebody, room with you? You got 2 bedrooms or whatever, right? And share the cost, right? It's like, no.
Nobody covers that. You have to pay that.
She was worried about taking care of the lawn and all that stuff. But she had neighbors that, she basically handed over the tractor over to her neighbor. He said, I'll take care of your lawn for you. So he was taking care of the lawn.
My mother, before she passed away, we had a 24/7 stay in there, and it was, give or take, it was $10,000 a month that you had to pay for out of pocket. Nobody subsidizes that. Insurance, nothing. So when it came down to my mother passed away, my father was already in a nursing home under insurance in the beginning. Then that turned into having to pay out of pocket $14,000 a month until like you said, your money was gone and you were down to under $1,600. Then you apply for Title 19, and that was like an 8-month process. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. And then they pay, and you're allowed $75 out. He had 2 pensions and a Social Security. You're allowed $75, and the rest goes to the state or to the nursing home, wherever it goes to. And that 75 can't go over 1,600, or you become ineligible for Title 19. So you have to keep it spent down. I was constantly buying clothes or buying a chair or buying, an iPad or something like that for him. It's just brutal.
Yeah.
It really, and it's expensive. But $10,000 to have somebody stay in your house 24/7 to take care of you.
Mhm.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, and if they had any money left in their checking account,
Yep.
the state comes to
I had to
take
get rid of it. Then I had to get
The
letters
state-
from the bank notarized that all their 2 savings and checking account were all closed, and there was no balance, and it was just, it was
The
brutal.
state
Mhm.
makes it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, they sure do.
Yep.
They sure do. And the
Um,
lawyer handled it. He was $7,000 to do that. So,
It's big bucks.
So in addition to the 210 units for the memory care and living and the 50 units for adult living and 160 units for family, there's also 56 units mixed use. I forget what that was, but I think it's just regular. I don't know what that was. Do you
What is
remember
it?
the mixed use?
Commercial.
No, it says
No.
family. It says it's
Mixed
under,
use?
yeah, it said
But he
mixed
talked
use,
about
56
work.
units.
There was like market rent. There was affordable housing rent prices. And
Yeah.
then there was this the other one, workplace,
I
whatever.
didn't
I don't know
quite
what the hell
understand
that
what it was, but so
maybe people that I don't. Everybody is going to work because
yeah,
it's not
you have to,
subsidized.
right.
Maybe different income levels. I don't know. And
They
it
did
just
mention
dictates your rate for rent.
They
Yeah,
did say that
they
too.
did.
They
So
mentioned that.
they're looking for tax credit from the state for that. I
Yeah.
think. So
And they did say that the housing, 40 to 80% of it would be affordable housing,
Yes.
which I thought was a pretty wide gap.
Big number.
Yeah.
they said also that
40%
the average salary for this area was
I
$107
find
per
that hard to
family.
believe.
No way.
That
Per
was
family.
the
No way.
median. I don't think it's that high.
And what they say, everybody was within 40% of that or whatever. It was a number
They said housing is 50 to 60% of that
the
median income of the 7, which brings you to like what 60,000.
60 grand.
Yeah. So I don't I don't know.
107.
I don't see that being the median.
Just people that work at ED don't make that.
Yeah, I don't see that being the median. I mean, maybe.
So anyway, anybody out there listening? Anybody got any comments, questions? All I've got is Laura. Good morning. That's it.
So there should be another.
The faithful.
There should be another info session. They said they're going to continue doing these, so keep an eye out. There'll be more coming.
All right.
They were definitely more prepared last week than they were last time.
Well, I think they probably got feedback.
Oh, they got it
I'm
needed
sure
to.
that,
They
yeah,
got it needed
the
to.
last
Well,
What
it
I
was-
don't think, though, is they limit it to an hour. People left there with questions that it was done. An hour.
They were ready to go at 7 last night.
That's
kept
what I'm
going
saying.
though, but we
you and
just
Rich
kept
and
forcing.
Yeah,
we kept forcing
you
the
know,
questions.
Yeah, would
Like,
you
no,
get another
there's still
10,
questions.
15 minutes out of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should have been here till 8 o'clock. They would have been.
Or they should have been there until people didn't
We're
have
done.
more questions.
That's right. We're done.
You know, yeah, but maybe in the future.
It was clear it was going to be an hour.
Yeah.
So
So just a reminder, taxes are due July 31st. If you haven't already.
Tax office
You can hear
is
them.
open tomorrow to collect taxes.
Yep. For
Yep.
I think a couple of hours. There's notices all over Facebook
Yep.
on it. So check all the local.
it's been busy. The wife went to go pay her taxes. There was a line. She saw Leona.
Really?
Smiled and said,
I
"How you
still-
doing?"
Everybody
I
waits.
still haven't.
Yeah, she was sitting there smiling, saying, "Everything's great. Everything's wonderful."
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sunflowers are out, so go check those out. What else I got going on? So outside of Grizzle, but local news, Dr. Prakash,
Yes.
the pediatrician in Norwich that was charged with
Child abuse.
some kind of like 4th or 5th degree, I don't know, whatever it was. Everything's been dropped. He's been
Really?
cleared. Everything's been dropped, and
Wow.
so.
What I
that's
read
not
was
squared away.
he slapped somebody's kid.
Yeah, on the butt. It was
Yep.
just like, okay, like whatever. I don't know.
But other people, when that first came out, listen, we never went to Prakash
No,
when we had
neither.
my kids were younger. But a lot of other people had made comments saying, yeah, he's kind of a weird dude.
Yeah,
I don't know the
I
guy.
don't know at all.
Never talked to him, but people did make those comments. So
I know he's very popular. I mean,
He is.
he's
very
so
popular.
many people go to him.
Yep.
So, but I guess from what I read, everything's been dropped, and
Wow.
that's it.
Yeah. Was there a payout?
I don't no idea. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I don't,
Yeah, maybe somebody's making a bigger issue than it was.
Maybe.
Could be.
possible too.
You know, we're always looking to say, as soon as somebody learn this a lot from the other movements that have been going on. You point fingers at people, and then you find out that it wasn't a big deal, and you ruin somebody's career. You know,
Maybe
I'm not saying that some
maybe
people
it was
are.
just flat. Maybe it was just
There are scumbags out there, or whatever.
Well,
But
you know, see you next time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there are scumbags out there, but you know, not everybody is.
Mhm.
You know, but if somebody has a vendetta against somebody and just said, "Yeah,
Listen, that guy's been in
he or
practice
she did
for
this."
years.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'd have my doubts.
Yeah. And he started seeing patients for free because one of the insurances, like state insurances, Husky or
Yeah.
one of them dropped him like immediately. So anyone with that insurance,
Could still go there.
right? And he just said, "I'll keep seeing you. Just I'm not charging. They're just come. It's not your fault that they dropped the
Yeah,
insurance.
when he was over on Sherman Street for years, and now he's
Yeah,
on
right.
the London Turnpike. And
Yeah.
the guy's been around.
Yeah, so that's typical. As soon as before they even know if it's a fact or not,
Yeah.
you get sponsors and all these other people just dropping it right and left. It's not the only one that's happening to.
Right. Yeah.
It's like it's like you're just got this disease and they don't want anything to do with you anymore.
So
Until the facts come out, you're guilty until proven innocent.
right.
But if you go there and you take your kid there and you never had a problem and you like the guy, you're not going to stop going there
No.
because of it.
Yep.
No. So there's that. And anyone who travels and uses Southwest, I saw that they're going to now start assigning
Science seats.
assigned
Yes.
seats for Southwest, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, we're
That
going to
was one of
Disney
the-
with them in mid-January or something like
I
that.
actually looked at them last night for a trip we got in February to get to Orlando. So,
I've never flown with them, and I have to
I
say,
have.
the reason I never flew with them was because I couldn't pick my seat. Because I need to
We
have a
had
window
to
seat.
stand there at ABC or 1, 2, 3 lines or whatever it was there. Yeah, I know. It was a
No,
joke.
I did not. I didn't even want to
But all the other ones
try
you
it.
pick your seat. Though. God, it was $75 to pick your seat.
That's fine.
You didn't pay enough for the
Listen,
airfare.
look-
You could pay $75. What are you paying for?
Listen, then there's early bird you got to pay for if you want to get moved up in line. Pay early bird so you can get on there early enough to pick whatever seat you want.
Yeah, it doesn't
Listen,
work either.
right now these days, I just want my flight to show up on time, leave on
Go where it's
time,
supposed to go
make my
and pick you up.
connection on time, and that's getting harder every time I fly.
One of them just got in trouble the other day for canceling over 1,000 flights in one day.
I saw
Was it
Delta.
United or Delta or something like
was
that?
Delta, I think.
And they're blaming it on this
Yeah,
outage or whatever the
the
hell's going on.
CrowdStrike thing. Oh no,
Yeah.
that was a different one.
That
Yeah,
was the Microsoft.
yeah. So Southwest will be assigning seats. I don't know when that starts, but
Beginning of the year, they said.
was it okay? And a Velo that flies out of Tweed is now going to be flying out of Bradley in addition to Tweed.
Oh,
Yep, they're going to start.
my uncle uses them to go to Florida.
That's what my brother's actually there right now.
That is cheap.
Well, it can be. You have to watch. Actually, my brother today, he's leaving for Florida this morning. He normally flies Velo out of Tweed, and he found that JetBlue out of Bradley was just as much as Velo out of Tweed, but you get the Wi-Fi, you get all the stuff that a Velo doesn't give you. It's the same price. Yep, it was the same price. You have to. You gotta check.
I like going out of Providence. It's just
Easier.
Easy.
There.
if I can't get out of Providence, I'll go to Bradley. Providence is
Sometimes the flight times are a little bit different, a little easier especially when you have grandkids.
Sure.
What time they get up like that. Like my wife just checked it out the other day. Changed the flight leaving Orlando to 7 in the morning, and it was like middle of the afternoon. It was like 1:30, I think.
Oh my God.
So trying to get those kids up and out,
Good luck with that.
yeah.
Ew.
So we had
A little bit more money than Bradley usually,
Is it?
but the convenience is
I haven't flown out of Providence in a while.
I can get there in 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It's nice.
yeah. Providence is nice. It's easy to get in and out.
Tweed was easy. When we flew out of Tweed, we went to Florida last year and flew out of Tweed, and it was a piece of cake.
Right.
I mean,
Getting
TSA. Luckily, the timing, we were good. We were not during rush hour on either end of the day. So getting there wasn't a problem. Parking, though, is expensive at Tweed. If you're
Is it?
parking there, it's like, it was a lot. It was a lot more than I expected it to be. But, I mean, it was easy. I mean, you walk in, there's literally no line at TSA. They have like one check through, it's very simple.
Providence has some specials sometimes for parking.
What's up?
Providence has some specials sometimes for parking,
Yeah, and the garages.
Yep.
The garages personally.
or even an all-through
Further
lot.
away you get, the cheaper it
Yeah, of
is.
course. Yeah.
And it's not that far away.
No.
With Providence, I mean, it's a 5-minute walk.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that
It's
Bradley.
not shuttle buses. It's
Right.
not. They do have off sites, but if you want to park on property, it's a 5-minute walk.
I've just noticed more delays, more connection issues. Lately since I've been.
Yep.
Ever since I've been flying a long time.
So if you ever look, anyone who's like a big dork like I am, and it has Flight Radar downloaded, the app downloaded on your phone, and you
Yeah,
ever
flight aware.
and same thing,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you ever look at the number of flights that
Oh,
are in the air
Oh,
at
man.
one
It's
time,
like mosquitoes.
you would be amazed. I had no idea
Oh yeah,
how littered.
I've tried that.
Oh my
Well,
god!
think about it. They canceled 1,000 flights in one day.
Right, National Airlines, right?
How many flights are taking off and landing every day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's
That's
a lot.
domestic. That's not even
Right.
in,
This is the
Yeah.
U.S. right now. It's literally
Yeah.
covered. You know,
It's
and
crazy.
that's just right this second.
Some of them are 30-minute flights. Some of them are 4-hour
Yeah.
flights.
You can
Well,
drive,
the-
you're gonna drive yourself nuts looking at
The
that,
one-
worrying about these planes don't run into each other. Oh my God, there's a lot of air up there. I
There
hate to
is
tell
a
you,
lot
it's
of air.
a lot of air.
And,
You
well,
know?
there's been a few where I've looked and it looks like they're gonna like hit,
Mm.
and then when you zoom in and look at their altitude, like they're
Hundreds,
like,
hundreds.
or
Yeah.
thousands. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like one's at 20,000, one's at 30,000.
Yeah.
So that's why you got these air traffic controllers. They keep track of all this stuff, and that's why a lot of them, driven to drink.
So I mean, So I will watch Boston Logan Airport.
Yeah.
And I downloaded the air traffic control app also. So when I can't sleep at night, I will watch the airport and listen to air traffic
portable
control.
hard drive for this thing? You gotta have one. There's no way that phone's handling all of that. No way.
And I'll listen to air traffic control and it's just organized chaos. I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing to listen.
In one flight tower, you got 10 controllers in there dealing with 10 planes apiece.
It's crazy. Yeah, this one's leaving, that one's coming in, and then this one's cleared to land. That's coming in behind the one that's coming in, and then this one.
And you got to keep it straight.
And this one's cross this,
Yep.
whatever runway to get to the. It's just unbelievable to listen to
Being a
it.
police dispatcher
Oh
could
my
be
God.
chaotic at times.
Yep.
There you go.
It's unreal. And then if there's some kind of an emergency or something, land or whatever, something goes crazy. Yeah, I can't even imagine when they have these outages and how all that.
Well, that
Oh
was
my
Keep
God.
circling.
It's unbelievable.
Keep circling.
Yeah.
I got everybody online canceling their flights now.
You glide in. You can glide.
Oh my word!
Real just listening to it. It really is.
So, you used to wonder about being on a submarine. At least in the airplane.
Submarine's going down. Coming back up.
Yeah.
Are there windows in a submarine?
No.
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 Come on, really?
There
No.
No.
Come
I
on, right?
really-
Well, you've been watching Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. You might think there's windows outside, but no.
Under the sea or
No.
something.
What
Windows
a
in
big
there.
bubble front.
Yeah, that.
You're relying on your sonar techs in that one.
That's it.
Mhm.
There's no.
There's
I mean,
no
I guess
visual.
you wouldn't be able to see anything.
There are no
anyway, right?
visuals.
The last one that had windows is down by the Titanic.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
in pieces.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No windows.
No
I
one.
mean, who knows? I don't know.
No side doors either. You're up in the top.
That one I knew.
Anyway. All right. So, what's going on nationally? I saw that Obama finally endorsed Kamala.
Both of the Obamas.
Yeah.
Didn't
Oh, yeah. That was going to happen. You knew that.
Of course.
I'm curious just to see how that all unfolds. I mean, it is whatever it is. What it is.
Well,
Whatever happens.
They said that he's going to drop Vance.
Really.
Go in with Nikki Haley.
Really?
You said that.
I saw on the news that possibly he may drop Vance and go with Nikki Haley.
Why? Say why?
It's a news article.
Interesting.
I didn't know you could do that.
I'd be surprised if that
Listen, I don't
happened.
think he's an endorsed candidate, right? He's just selected.
Yeah, he's selected.
But I'd be surprised. I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like Trump would make an impulsive decision for something like that. I'd be surprised that he would select Vance
He doesn't
without.
typically hold under
Right.
pressure. No.
Yeah, there would have to be a really.
Well,
good
there was
reason.
something that came up under Vance where somebody singled him out prior to even being a politician, I believe. And it had something to do with how he felt about women that didn't want to have kids.
Oh yeah, something.
He had something going, there was something there in his history.
Yeah, he's a very religious person.
Yeah, he
But,
did.
You make
You know?
you make a comment like that somewhere and come back to haunt you.
Oh, yeah.
And you're talking about Roe versus Wade and all that stuff. I mean, that could be a problem for a guy like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess he made a comment something about single ladies with cat
Jen-
ladies
Jen-
or
Jumped
something.
all
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't been keeping up on.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's what I get. That's
I
what
Well, you got that, and then you got Harris' background, her record.
yeah,
being-
that doesn't seem to be a problem.
You know.
One of the biggest problems she did, and I'm not sure, when she was VP, she had the opportunity to show how she could shine.
Mm-hmm.
She was given some pretty high level,
Responsibility.
responsibilities to do, and she didn't do that.
Right.
Not realizing that she could have been a candidate for president.
Exactly.
If she would have done that,
Probably never expected that. Yeah.
people would have a lot more respect for her. But
Well-
she just dropped him and didn't care.
But I think the flip side of that, though, I think there are people out there that think she's done a great job.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of
This
people.
morning on the news, I heard something where they're claiming that they reduced the border crossings by 50%. And it's like,
Well, Biden put that out in his farewell speech. He said the borders had a lot of reduction in
50% less people.
crossings, yada
Just in
yada
the last
yada.
month, why didn't they do that
I bet
a year or two
I bet
ago?
the video show differently.
Because it wasn't time to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't re-election time, so we're just going to let it flood. I don't know. Millions of people across the border. We don't know what they are. We don't know what diseases they're bringing. We don't know what the security risks they are. So I'm more concerned about security than a
with dead people where they are or what,
Yep.
what their risks
Right.
are.
What's the economy now?
security of the nation, the economy.
Watch it change. Everything's going to go down.
I think the stock markets are already showing a little ripple now.
Well, it always does, and a lot of it is they really need to look at, and Trump needs to cool it if he starts, not being nice. I guess yesterday he had people are saying I'm being nice. Well, I can't be nice anymore. So it's like, he needs. I was watching some of the shows. They really needs to tone it down. Just go with the policies. Just go on her past record, a criminal justice. Like, they're going to say that she was a prosecutor. Like, her record as a prosecutor and what she's done in San Francisco and in California's Attorney General, appalling. People need to really look at that. If you're really worried about crime in this country, which is bad, that's another issue nobody's talking about. Is crime in this country has escalated.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
They want to keep getting rid of the guns. Well, they want the guns taken away from us, not the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, a few days ago, there was a New Haven. A gun shop was broken into by 3 individuals. Stole a lot of guns. So the police there trying to track them down. So yeah,
good luck.
Yeah, there's the deal. The deal is securing this nation, crime in this nation, and the economy. Who's going to fix it? Is Harris going to fix it? Not with her record. She's not. She's too light on crime. As a matter of fact, she created a bail fund in one of the states, Minnesota, when they had those riots.
Oh yeah.
To bail these people out, get them back on the street, so they can cause more harm, more destruction.
I think we just need to wait and see what happens at the DNC, right?
Yep.
Next month, and I mean, who knows at this point? I think
also see what the courts come out with as far as the Republicans filing FEC charges on the money that is now going to her that's donated for Biden. It wasn't Biden Harris, it was for Joe Biden for president.
Yeah.
That's who was running, not her.
Well,
campaign financing is
it's a mess.
Yep.
At our level.
Yeah.
It's hard at our level to understand it. Imagine what it's like at the federal level, presidential level.
$50 million.
Who did?
Netflix.
Gave her $50 million?
Yeah. So, who owns Netflix?
The same.
So, it's, I don't know. All these people are piling up all this money. You just gotta. I know they're. Listen, I've said this before.
Is it too much, too late?
We have 2 candidates before Harris. You got pushed into the spotlight. They're calling it a coup or whatever. But the media's lied to us. I don't even listen to listen to them people anymore because they're so full of it.
I honestly don't like listening to any of it.
No.
You don't know who you believe.
On either side, it's just and it's the same stuff over and over again, and they just overtalk each other. It's just a bunch of opinions on both sides of the aisle. Watch the news. It's just people's opinions. There's just opinions. It's very few facts. It's just opinion after opinion after opinion, and I honestly, I don't have patience to even listen to it.
So we should have 2 different candidates. That's what I thought, but it's too late now. We got to live with what we got, and people have to research. Don't listen to the nonsense on TV. Do some research on your own, and don't know how you feel about Trump, don't know how you feel about Harris. But right now we've got some enemies out there that are salivating right now, depending on who gets in.
They're definitely waiting to see what happens. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting. Either way, no matter who gets in, come January, it's January, February, beginning of next year will be interesting to see just how it unfolds. The election itself, just election day and the day or two following.
Early voting.
Early voting, yeah. But I mean, I'm not looking forward to election day or, like I said, the day or two following. I mean, it could take a few days to even get all the results. Who
You
knows?
know, just think about this. If Harris wins, oh my God, could you imagine the chaos that could ensue after that?
As far as like immediately after, or do you mean the years to follow?
Well,
Because I think immediately
listen,
after,
after the last time was in January, right?
yeah.
So, I mean, how happy do you think the Republicans as a whole are going to be if, you got this leak over to the game
Mm.
because of who she is, not what she is, but who she is. If she happens to pull this off, what do you think is going to happen? Oh my God, they're going to go nuts.
I think, yeah, and I mean, I see a lot of it being very similar to what we've had the last few years as far as leadership, or if you want to call it that. But I don't think the person in that position, that president position, is the one making
No,
the call.
she's the leader. She is the
No,
leader.
and I think it's the whole team of folks behind the scenes
Right.
that are the ones. So I don't think we'd see much different than what we see now, honestly.
No, I just mean, do you think you'll see an uprising?
Oh,
Another insurrection?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Well, we only had one insurrection. That was January 6th. Not all the other riots in the city, stuff like that. That was nothing. That didn't
But-
count.
It was Democrats. It didn't matter.
but honestly, I mean, even the January 6th thing didn't solve anything. It didn't
No.
get anything. You know what I mean?
It
So
opened eyes for what it's worth.
yeah,
Just remember where she's from.
Yeah.
Or what that state looks
That
like
state.
right now. The state of California.
A shithole.
it'd be interesting to see who is selected as her running mate. And I saw there's a lawyer that was doing like a podcast thing, and he said that a lot of people are expecting Newsom to be the running mate.
Some hurdle.
I guess the 12th Amendment, which I don't know anything about it, but the 12th Amendment says that they typically cannot be from the same state.
I heard that.
But if they still push for it and still go about it and select the president and vice president from the same state, they have to forego the electoral votes of that state, which would be an issue because that'd be California.
California.
So they're not going to want to give that
They
up.
got quite a few.
But they said one of the ways around it is they can buy property in another state. But I don't know what the timeline
happened
is.
before.
I don't know what the timeline is. For being a
Listen,
resident
what
of another
just happened?
state or whatever.
What just happened here with her getting endorsed? Right? She has not gotten one vote.
No.
All the delegates are going to start moving her way because they want to look united at the NC, right? But there was no Democrat voters that voted for her to be the endorsed candidate. This is all coming from the party elite.
Well, that's what I wonder and like I said, I don't really watch the news and all of that stuff, but I wonder what Democrat voters, how they feel about that. Do they feel like they've been kind of slighted
No, they should be.
and that they've missed out on, that they've had that taken away from them, the
Right.
vote taken away
Well,
from them.
Our two
But-
reps love it. They've endorsed her. Vermont endorsed her.
But
It's all the people, but the voters.
DC.
But
The
I'm
voters
wondering-
have not been out there during the primary process. She wasn't part of the primary
no, and that's what I
process.
wonder how like the average Democrat voter,
Right.
how they feel about that.
Matter of fact, when she ran in 2020, she didn't do very
No.
well at all.
Pretty silent, yeah.
So
I think now that she's been appointed or whatever, I'm sure majority of Democrat voters will support that just because she's for their party. But I wonder, how if they feel a bit slighted or kind of, like they've had something taken away from them. I don't know.
Maybe the majority don't want her either.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what the thought is there.
California's got 55 electoral votes. That's a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, they're not
The
going to give
most,
that
actually
up.
the most.
Yeah, they're not going to give that up.
No.
In Connecticut, that's 7.
I know.
yeah. So we won't have a lot to say. Even all New England doesn't match
No,
55.
it's very low.
No.
So it's going to be interesting. But like I said a few days ago, it's a scary situation where we're in the last month that's happened. We've had a presidential candidate shot at, and they still don't know how that kid got on the building, even though he's wandering around.
I think he climbed up there. If I had to guess,
Yeah,
I think he climbed.
He did. He did. But he was seen, almost an
Stevie
hour
Wonder saw
before. Yeah, Stevie Wonder saw him. Yeah. So yeah, I got all this information, all these videos, and the Secret Service director resigned for a lot of pressure. The FBI
So she
is,
didn't have to speak. That's why.
it's how does a 20-year-old kid get up on a roof
He climbs.
besides climbing?
You had a ladder.
How does he have the access with all the protection that's supposed to be afforded to
It was
a
there.
former
It was
president?
inside the building, protecting that building.
They
You
had it
know.
secured inside.
They had it secured inside.
Oh, perfect.
Good place
Listen, if
for
you
it.
hear
There's-
footsteps up there, just
Listen,
shoot.
Right.
there's
We
just
don't want you
way.
going on that slope route.
I'm,
Just
I'm just
shoot.
saying, there's way too many holes here.
Oh yeah.
How about
You
was
know.
it Congress that I saw that they all took like a little field trip and went there, members of Congress,
Oh,
and they
God.
stood on the roof and they were like, "Wow!" And they're all of them
Pretty
are all
steep.
standing, all of them are standing on the roof of the building, and they're
I
like,
just-
"Uh-oh!"
I just watched them guys put the new roof on the Comfort Inn up there. That roof's like
Yeah.
this. Are you kidding me? And they did it in like 4 days. Stripped it and redid it. Nobody fell off that roof.
I'll have to see if I can find that video. But they're all up there, and one of the congressmen, he's up there like recording it, like they're taking selfies, and he's like just panning around, like they're all up on the roof.
Yeah. Now the FBI is putting out that it wasn't a bullet that hit Trump; it's shrapnel
It
from
was
the
they
teleprompter or
were
something
saying
like
that from day one.
that.
They were saying that it was that the shrapnel from hitting the teleprompter or something, and that it was glass.
Oh, I'm
that hit
sorry.
him or something.
You know what? I don't really care what it was.
He was shot at.
He was shot.
He was shot at.
Somebody hit him.
And one person was killed, two
Mhm.
other people injured severely.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter.
The ones that were injured, though, did they say they were actually hit by bullets, or did they just say
I
they
don't
were
know.
injured?
I don't remember.
I mean,
Yeah,
the guy
they
that
were
got killed
critical.
was the shrapnel didn't kill that guy.
No.
They're critical. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
They said that he pulled off
8,
8 shots in 6 seconds.
and they said they found 8 shells.
They did shoot 8. Yep. So,
Wow,
That's what we're being told.
8.
yes,
Wow.
8 shots in 6 seconds.
But some of those were from the Secret Service or FBI or
No,
whoever,
that was one from them. One shot
Oh.
killed him.
Yeah.
and the
He-
rest of them
the-
were from
the-
the shooter.
Yes,
No kidding.
8
Okay.
shots in 6 seconds.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And they were 5.56s. I mean, it wasn't a 22.
No,
That hurt.
but it was.
Just for a second.
But it was an assault rifle. Those are scary, scary ones.
Yeah, I know.
Very scary. They're
I'm
big
so
and
afraid of mine. I keep them locked up in my safe.
yeah. I haven't really been keeping up on it. But
No, but that's what's so far what's out. That's real.
has this kid's parents come out and said anything?
Not yet.
I only heard something, a week ago about the father had no clue what was going through his son's head or whatever like that. And I don't know if they're going to go after the father because it was the father's rifle they were saying or something like that. I don't.
Supposedly, the father let the kid take the gun. He was going to a gun range, so he had permission to have the gun. So I don't know. They were both.
He was older.
They were both
Yeah, he was like
licensed,
20, 21.
permitted, whatever. They were both allowed to have that
Yeah.
gun. So if the father said, "Hey, I let the kid borrow it,"
Yep.
does it take the father off the hook?
Mm. Yeah, I don't know.
Put him on the hook.
Interesting.
Unlike Newtown, where the mother there, she didn't have
Right.
that gun secured, and the kid took it.
Right.
Different
Yeah,
story.
that's a little different.
You know, she's definitely liable for that. But
Mhm.
this guy, I mean, if he said, "Yeah, you can take it," and you could
Yep.
have a permit,
Yep. Yeah, and then you get into the whole, gun law
now you got to get
discussion.
the deep
and,
end,
right. It's like, would any laws would have prevented that from happening?
Where does the liability end?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. Anything else to talk about?
I don't think so.
You guys getting hungry?
Have a meeting.
You have a meeting? What a shock. Work.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's Kathy. I don't know. Yeah, we got some work to do too, don't we? Somewhere.
Whatever.
Yeah, probably
All you
like
retired
a
guys.
Dean's.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, it was good conversation. I don't know if anybody. No, you didn't get any comments at all. So I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
So
It's
I know
Friday.
Mike saw it and Laura's on. It's Friday. It's a beautiful day. You're sitting in home watching us, and you're wasting your sunlight out there. It's a beautiful day. But all right, Paul, you got anything?
I'm good.
I think the weekend's supposed to be nice. Enjoy it. I guess it's supposed to get muggy again sometime during the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, we did have a couple of comments.
Did you?
Maybe there's something going on. They're not popping up.
Which one are you on?
Mike's.
I see 4.
Yep. So
Griswold News and Notes?
nope, on Mike Minarski's page.
Oh, I
Laura,
got nothing.
Laura and Mike.
Yeah, Laura says some insurance companies offer discounts for YMCA memberships.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Silver sneakers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Silver Snickers. Yep. And then when Mike said, "Where are the psychics?" early on,
Yeah.
Laura said, "These are the psychos."
Wow.
That's it? Wow. Okay.
That's pretty
That
good.
was on that page.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's Friday. What's
Yeah.
going on Monday? Who's here? Do we know?
It's supposed to be Mike and Paul,
Okay.
and Mike's supposed to be bringing some Sea Unicorns players in to talk
right.
about the ball team.
Oh, I think I
And
have gift certificates.
your wonderful program director will send out the rest of the schedule next week.
I think I have passes to a game this year. I need to look at that.
Yeah. So there you go. You show up, you might ask you to operate a camera.
He's always looking, I think, for help.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I guess that's it for today. Everybody have a nice weekend. Rich, you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
Kathy, you got anything else?
Nah.
Work.
Yeah.
That's all she's got. Work. All right. Have a nice day.
See ya.
See you later.